If you're a small business owner, I'm telling you now to not give up on your business. Don't give up on that thing you're doing and it gives you joy. That thing that everyone is telling you that you should keep on moving, even if no one is telling you to keep on moving, because sometimes you will only be the one to see the success in what you're doing. Other people won't see it. They will only see a failure in it. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share some exciting news, like a very big news, because for the past 6 months that I've been into the NAFDAC process, I just got my NAFDAC number last week. So it's a big news, especially for a small business entrepreneur. You have to celebrate every milestone in your business. So I celebrate this moment. I'm so happy. In fact, I didn't know I've been approved since last week. So I get to know last night when I was just like, let me go through the portal and see what is the update from NAFDAC. And I saw my certificate. This is my certificate. Imagine, I'm so happy. So I've not got the hard copy yet. But here is the soft copy on the screen. So guys, I want to share you some of the steps and things you need to get your NAFDAC approval. So I'm going to be listing out 10 things that you need to have your NAFDAC approval. You can still do it this year, but the chances is a bit slim because it took me 6 months. I started this process since March actually, but I think we have some mix up. Then the entire process started in April and I just got it approved in October. So it took me 6 months before I got my NAFDAC number. 10 things on my list that I prepared for NAFDAC. So number 1, you have to have your health certificates. It is very important. NAFDAC is not going to approve you for short without having your health certificate. So if you want to have your health certificate, there are a list of health tests that you should do. But if you think you're good and you don't need to have any of those tests, probably you've had them recently, you can just go to your hospital, probably your general hospital, and request for your health certificate. So when you get your health certificate, that is number 1 out of the 10 things you need to prepare for NAFDAC. So remaining 9. So the second is you need to get your fumigation certificate. So you can go to your probably your local government environmental office to request for your fumigation certificate. They can come, in most cases, they will come to your facility, your production facility, to fumigate the environment to make sure that it is safe for production before they issue you the fumigation certificate. So but either ways, you're still going to pay for all of this. You know, Nigerians, we are not funny. We are not funny. So either ways, you're still going to pay. The third is trademark. You see, I need to do another video for trademark because trademark has been what delayed me since 2 years ago for me not to get this NAFDAC. I've been trying to reach out to some people who have probably connection with the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to help me get my trademark, but the prices are too high for a micro. In fact, Nigeria, some government officials, sometimes they are not considerate. When someone tell you that I'm a micro entrepreneur, you're supposed to consider the fact that if she has the money, she won't be coming to you. She will just reach out to a legal advisor and it will get everything done. But for her to be doing it one after the other by herself, that means she is very low on finance, on funding. So you should be able to kind of help. But those people, they are not, in fact, they are not smiling. So eventually I got it this year, and that is why I'm able to continue with the NAFDAC process. So you need to get your trademark. Any name you're going to be using for your trademark, it should be a kind of a unique name. It should not be tied to a particular thing. Like let's say Ewami, don't let me use, I don't want to use another brand's name. So let's say Bukola skincare. instead of you trademarking Bukola skincare, you know, at some point in the future you can decide to bring in some other products. You can bring in hair products, you can bring in perfumes, you can bring, but when you already titled it to just be Bukola skincare, so that means you have to be like that. Bukola skincare have to go with just your skincare brand. And if you want to get a verification for another product, you have to register another name you're using for that. So it is better use like a unique kind of name that you can easily match with any sector or any products that you eventually later discover and you're trying to implement in your manufacturing process. So for myself, I use Haeesh. You can see it. I used Haeesh because Haeesh has been my name since the first period I started my production process in 2018. I've been using Haeesh for my products, but eventually Haeesh is now trademarked, so it is official. Yes. So the fourth is your products and the labels. So your products, whichever product, either food, cosmetics, anything under food and drugs that you want to get your NAFDAC approval for, you need to prepare your product in a very good position. And for label requirements, you need to meet with the NAFDAC official first for them to give you their label requirements, because a skincare label requirement might be different from a food product label requirement, and it can also be different for an air product label requirement. So I don't know, but if you want to get your NAFDAC approval, you need to see any NAFDAC official to give you info on what label requirements suits your specific products, because that will help you to design, or probably you already have one design already, then you can redesign another label that you want to use for your products, and that's it. So then the fifth is you have to prepare a production facility. So I'm going to tell you this: if you are a micro manufacturer and probably you are doing the product in your house, in your apartments, I would suggest you register with the incubation center in your state. It makes sense you register with incubation center because that place is just for manufacturing and production. You get to meet some of your other colleagues. It is not necessary you do all your production there. You can probably do some. Probably if you don't want, you know, every business has its own secret. If you don't want people to know all the things you are combining in your product, you can just mix some at home. Then when you get to your production facility at the incubation center, then you combine the rest, and no one will know what you have pre-mixed in those ones except you and your secret production book. So that's it. So I would suggest you register with the incubation center, because your home, it's not all NAFDAC accepts visiting your home for inspection. So it makes sense if it is an incubation center. That is much more easier than it being your own private facility, your own private apartment. So the number 6 is you need to prepare your cash. So for NAFDAC registration on the portal, at least with the bank charges and everything, you need to prepare 41,000 naira. So with the bank charges, so you need to prepare 41,000 naira in your account that you'll be using for the online payment on NAPAM's portal. Then number 7, you need to prepare your application letter in your company letterhead. You have to write letter to probably the state coordinator of your state where you be getting NAFDAC approval from, that this is the product name and you are applying to get your NAFDAC approval for it. So it has to be in your company letterhead, and you can only have a company letterhead with the name registered from CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission. So you can't even go anywhere without having your business registered with CAC. So for you to have your letterhead, it has to be with the name, exact name registered on your CAC. Mind you, the name you registered on your CAC does not necessarily has to be the name that you will be using on your products. I hope you understand. So let me give you an instance. Myself, I used Aisha. Okay, I used Abdul Kabir Aisha Ventures. That was my business name that I used for CAC registration. But when I wanted to trademark, I trademark Haeesh. And when I'm registering my product, Haeesh has to be the first name of whichever product I want to register. So I registered, I trademark Haeesh. So I use Haeesh black soap, Haeesh hair care, Haeesh body cream, Haeesh body butter, Haeesh shampoo, Haeesh lip balm, Haeesh, and so on. You get? So it has to be, the name you register with your CAC has to be your letter headed name, but it does not necessarily has to be your product name. But if you want the name you use on your CAC to still be the name you will trademark, it's fine. And if that is what you want to have on all your products, it is fine, totally fine. Depend on your personal decision. Number 8, which is your CAC certificate. You have to get your CAC certificate. It could either be limited liability or business name. So either ones, it goes. Then number 9 is your tax identification number. It must be valid. Yes. So getting your tax, you have to get 2 tax number, I think, 2 tax. You have to get the state tax number and the federal tax number. You have to tell them to validate your TIN number for you at the FIRS office, because if your TIN number is not valid, it is not going to be accepted on your NAPAMS portal. And the first thing you will do on your NAPAMS portal is to validate your TIN number. All your details on the CAC, which is registered with the FIRS, when you validate on the NAPAMS portal, that is exactly the info is going to bring out. Before you proceed to click category of your enterprise, if it is a micro, if it is a small, and if it is a large scale company. So you're going to make sure you validate your TIN number from FIRS before you can register or proceed with the NAFDAC registration process. And the last on my list is you have to have patience, because sometimes you submit your labels and so on, and NAFDAC will be giving you compliance directive issues that you should upload, you should do this, you should do that. Sometimes you get pissed off. In fact, I almost lose hope. It's not about me almost losing hope. I got frustrated. I'm pissed. My plan initially was to get my NAFDAC approval earlier this year so that I can continue production. I'm like, let me just get this NAFDAC approval, because most of my distributors were complaining that without NAFDAC they are not going to buy the product. So I decided that let me get it this year, and then I can resume my manufacturing process. But we started the entire journey. Everything was slow, and it's as if, you know, sometimes when you are trying to do something, you're putting a lot of effort in it, and everything is looking as if you're doing nothing. So the entire process was very slow. I was frustrated, I was sad sometimes, and I was broke. That is the fact. I was broke. I sustained myself from my manufacturing revenue. So for me not to manufacture for the longest period, like, I have to be broke. Even all the other businesses that I've been doing, that I'm getting, the expenses is doubling. So it has to be that more incomes has to come in for you to be able to be a bit financially stable, not fully financially stable, you get. So everything was frustrating, but alhamdulillah, I'm able to kind of endure the entire process, and I'm here now. And I'm telling you guys, especially if you're a small business owner, I'm telling you now to not give up on your business. Don't give up on that thing you're doing, and it gives you joy. That thing that everyone is telling you that you should keep on moving, even if no one is telling you to keep on moving, because sometimes you will only be the one to see the success in what you're doing. Other people won't see it. They will only see a failure in it. So I want to use this opportunity to appreciate all my customers, from the first person that patronized me in 2018 when I started my first production. And to my recent customers who have been with me for the past few weeks, that have been patronizing my products, giving me so many reviews, I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. And now I am happy to tell you that I'm officially back to production. And initially, I'm not on social media. You can't buy my product on social media. I don't even have a website. But now that NAFDAC is sorted, so every other thing is going to move as planned. Alhamdulillah. So thank you, everybody. See you on my next video. Bye bye.